Utah basketball finished last in the Big 12. What can be done to jumpstart this program? A lot of comedy here, PK. Tons of comedy. Brent, drop the program. Jared, hire Mark Harlan as coach. Andrew, give Harlan a lifetime contract extension. Alex, that program hasn't been good since the sweater left us. No real help there, PK. Brandon's got a theory, but it's a little back to the future. You could borrow part of it, but I think if you fully embrace it, it won't work because it's not made for today's times. Brandon says recruit more in-state kids. Fans will have a connection with names they're familiar with. Play Utah State, Weber State, UVU, Southern Utah, and Utah Tech every year instead of bad teams such as Mississippi Valley State. Okay, you could play some locals. You can drop Mississippi Valley State and bring in UVU, Southern Utah, or Utah Tech, but that's not going to help you get out of last place in the Big 12. And recruit more in-state kids. Those great teams had in-state kids on them, but they were powered by a lot of guys who were out of state. So don't think some in-state all-star team. And the Big 12 is a higher level of competition than the Mountain West in the 90s. You're sitting there like 4 or 5 ranked teams every year. It's probably, some years it's probably 6, others 3, but I think it's 4 or 5, and most years are going to be ranked. It's a much higher bar. I don't think you can do it with a local all-star team.
Okay, yeah, I agree. But get the best players. I mean, it doesn't matter. That's nice and all, but BYU, what local guys did they have out on the floor Saturday night? What LDS guys did they have on the floor Saturday night? That would be 0 and 0. So it's all about winning. Win as many games as you possibly can.
And you have to bring in –
the crowds will respond.
And you have to bring in Andre Miller from L.A. and Keith Van Horn from L.A. and Doleac from Portland. I mean, you're going to have to go find lottery picks outside the state because everybody else has got pros. Arizona's not short on guys who are going to go to the NBA. They may not be great, and you can tell us about that later. But they are going to go to the NBA.
Yeah, get better players. But that's the obvious answer is to get better players. We understand that. But what does the community/university need to do to get to that point to bring in better players? Because so much of it revolves around money now. And what are they doing? How are they spending? What is going to be the enticing factor? What can the fans do? And asking fans to spend money for an inferior product is a tough ask, but kids like to play where it matters. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that the Branch kid that committed to BYU, as I understand that he was there when they played Arizona a few weeks back. If I remember, that was a Monday night, and the place was just rocking, right? I mean, BYU, they will sell out that 18,000. And that's a huge on-campus arena that they have. Most campuses don't have that level, that size of capacity, and they manage to fill it just about every game, certainly in the games of the conference and the big games. And a kid like Branch comes in and he sees that and they go, wow, that's a pretty cool environment, right?
Yep.
Obviously. And you go in the Huntsman Center and they don't have an environment anymore. I mean, a few years back, they put curtains up, and I guess they're not doing that anymore, but they might as well because it's just the environment isn't there. So they have to jump. The program needs an entirely new jumpstart. It's like they've got to do something to find ways to generate some enthusiasm in the community and find ways to bring in kids. Now, the good thing is for Alex and his staff is that they've had a whole year now. And last year, obviously, he was juggling 2 jobs and all that stuff, and it was hard to do late in the season or in the recruiting season, the transfer portal season I'm talking about, so the off season. Well, now this year, that's out the door, right? You'll have as much time as everybody else has right in the NCAA. And if you want to jumpstart it, you know, you're going to have to get some transfers in there who can play at a higher level. But how do they do that? I think the formula to do it is pretty simple. It's obvious, but to be able to do it, that's where the difficult nature comes in. And the difficult nature is to find players who want to come here and be part of a pretty big rebuild in an excellent conference. So I don't think that it can be done to the point of next year being in the top 3.
No.
But can it be done to where they can move in the middle and then year 3 make a move? Yeah, I do.
That needs to be the goal. Get out of the bottom quarter, bottom third of the league. Get into that middle third of the league. James says if DJ can use his salary to buy his players and PK can use his connections to secure top-level talent and NIL opportunities, we can move up to become a top 8 team in the conference.
Yeah, I would take top 8 because top 8 gives you a legitimate
that's an NCAA
possibility
team
of getting the NCAA tournament in this conference. We're going to see that this year. Yeah, I mean, gosh, they've got to find that way.
I'm really thinking middle third, somewhere between 6th and 10th. I mean, if you look at it, BYU is 10. Look at BYU, Cincinnati, West Virginia. If they're that kind of team, having that kind of season, that's a big step forward. And when you start looking about what it means to get above that, I mean, who's to say in this era? I mean, the money and you land the right guys, you can, but I'd be surprised if they did that all at once. It seems to me it's more about moving up 4, 5, 6 spots in the standings, and then that gives you access to another level of guys, and you move up again. Because as much as it's about the money, and we got multiple people saying it's about the money, and you'd better have the money, there are lots of teams with the money. So once everyone's got, the same ballpark and his price players the same way, you got to have all the other stuff. And you're right. It's not just the 18,000 showing up and being loud. That's a big part of the equation. But the whole thing they do with video, lights, the crowd swaying back. I mean, they call it game management. I mean, it's got all the bells and whistles. The excitement starts long before the ball gets tossed up in the jump circle. The show has already started. The scoreboard, video elements, everything. You got to bring it all together.
Yeah, but the show only works if you've got the product out on the floor.
No doubt about it.
That stuff.
No doubt about it.
10 and 20.
Right. Winning is the biggest part of the puzzle, right? All right, DJ PK, Steve Cleveland, former BYU basketball coach, joins us next. Ken Pomeroy from KenPom.com on NCAA tournament hopes and potential seedings. We'll talk with him coming up at 9 o'clock right here on The Zone. Steve's next.